What's up, y'all? It's LTJ Reeds here. I forgot my name. And this is Throwing Light. And if you're not throwing light, you're not acting right. I'm super excited to have someone in my immediate leather family here. He was on here last year for Austin Kink Weekend, and we had that big rollout with Austin Kink Weekend. But I'm gonna not be extra this year, and I'm like Justin come out, and I mean Jacob come out and be kind of the person for contact here, being that he's the producer, and I'm very excited to have him on. So it's been a year. I can't believe I'm even still doing this, which is funny. But now you're back, and yeah, you've been through some things in the past year for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. Super excited to be back. When we did this last year, this was kind
That's
of
it. Wait, wait,
our.
wait. Did I say your name, Jacob Duncan? Did I say that?
No,
Okay,
I'm a guy. You may have seen me on
it's
social
Jacob
media.
Duncan. I'm sorry. Now continue.
Listen, the videos you saw on X Hamster didn't mean anything.
Oh my
So
gosh, they're gonna go look.
yeah, I know, right? My OnlyFans is. I'm just kidding.
Uh-oh.
Uh,
Uh-oh. Wait to the end.
I know, right? So, yeah, it's been a year. A lot has happened in a year. We are super excited to bring Austin Kink Weekend 2025, where this year we're kind of focusing on legacy, connection, impact. Those are our three kind of big pillars, and we are super excited to bring some really I don't want to say old names because that makes it sound bad. Really, some legends in the leather community to the event, and we're continually expanding, kind of trying to bring in legends from all over the community because kink doesn't just involve leather, right? Kink is rubber, kink is sport, kink is gear. It's whatever as Marcus would like to say. The IMO from my class, whatever makes you hard. So um, that's the way I look at it. I look at it as everybody has a little kink that they like to share, and everybody's got one. So this year, we're gonna go through and celebrate that, and have some fun times.
Well, before we go any further, I do want to point out that me and Jacob did not plan that we.
We didn't call each other. It wasn't a thing.
I literally turned
Uh,
on the camera and he was wearing that, and I just couldn't. It was just.
I mean, it felt appropriate. It felt like the shirt to wear.
We're both emotional support people here. Uh,
Yes, yes.
so I hiding my little lock here to show you that. But that shows you. Well, look, we are of the same mind. We're of the same what family basically. Like it would make sense that we would be supporting, you know, who we represent. So
Yeah, definitely.
I mean,
This.
I would say and not that there's some game going, but I would say that me and Jacob are teammates. We're on
Yeah,
the same team.
yeah. We're on the same team.
We're on
Yeah,
the
we
same team.
we we kind of play the same games,
Yes.
kind of scout the same fields.
Try to avoid the same drama.
Yes,
Forget
exactly.
about that.
Yeah, we talk about all that sort of stuff
Yeah,
that's
but
going
how
on
we don't
later,
want to
but
be involved in
exactly.
it.
That's one of the things, especially producing an event like this and kind of some of the stuff I do with Austin Gears, the things I'm doing with the Texas Conference of Clubs now, that I have opinions about a lot of things, but I'm also not going to be of the mindset to go through and stir pots, because I think we do enough pot stirring in our own communities, in our own backyards, even within our own friend groups um, that it gets old. I mean, I don't have time to remember who I told what to whom about so and so person or place or whatever it is. It's just not really who I am. And with staying as busy as I do, it's just something I can't keep up with.
You're like the silent warrior. Like you do all these things, no drama. You wouldn't even know that you're involved sometimes because you're just so like chill about it. Well, I know you're not really chill on the inside about it, but I'm just saying that again, me and you talked about your reign as Mr. Prime Choice, and we had opinions about how things played out for the next year. But we
Hmm.
discussed about having title years that did not have drama. We remember
Hmm.
that conversation we had.
Yeah, definitely.
Uh-huh. So
Uh,
you are one of those people that I would say I call you no drama, Jacob.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. I try to not, Mary J. Blige is a friend of mine. I do try to, follow that mantra because, we don't have time for it. There's
We like to
already,
watch it. We love to watch it, but we don't.
oh yeah, we've got enough in our community right now from external forces that we don't need to be bringing in. And that's one of the things that some of the classes at Austin Kink Weekend this year are going to focus on inclusion and how to bridge gaps and how to find your tribe and those sorts of things. Because I think in the next couple of years, even though it's been important for a long time, but I think even more so in the next couple of years, that we are going to find ourselves basically constantly under attack at every turn. And if we're not able to find supportive people, supportive communities, supportive tribes to be able to go through and reach out to and help, not only build them up, but they can help build us up to be able to get through it, it's going to be a very long couple of years coming up. So,
The bigger issue is, and I want to jump this, and we'll go into Austin Key Weekend, is that you're producing a contest. It's not an easy task, and you've got to be worried about all the drama. And I don't, knock on wood, and this is how I truly feel. And I tell people when I travel, because we have both had the opportunities to go around and see other leather communities. We are actively inclusive here in Austin as much as possible. And I think when you look through the events of the weekend and see the people that are there, it's just, I'm not trying by any means. I'm just saying that I think we are progressively working on trying to include women more here, non-binary people. We're trying to make our contest feel very, very, I hate to say the word, but integrated and less segregated. And I take pride in that, knowing that here in Austin, we're trying to lead in that, because I know in a lot of other places, it's still a little rigid on how they go about things. And we don't treat people like tokens in our community. And we don't want people to feel that way, and that's not our intent. And so, and I'm sure Jacob will assure this, we want to try to in our community, we want to try to uplift everybody we can, but we do also understand there are things in place and people feel this way about something. In a perfect world, we want every contest to be perfect, but I think sometimes we do need to take in consideration people like Jacob that are doing these and producing these events, and the amount of stress it takes, organization, worrying if you got to put fires out. Am I correct, Jacob? And
yeah.
I just want to say now before we move on, a lot of times things happen in contests, and there's this new social media habit of calling something out on the internet, and then all of a sudden, I don't know about you, and I'm going to go ahead and say it. That Grizzly Pines thing, y'all, you did not
Mhm.
need 27 people to post about that. And I'm just going to be, and I'm probably going to clip this part and play it, but we don't need a dog pile when something is happening and we're calling something out, and it just becomes dramatics at that point. And it almost, in my way, kind of makes it more dramatic than what it needs to be. And instead of being like, hey, this problem was addressed, someone addressed it that's affiliated with it, we should be done. But we have this tendency to keep this drama going on. And I just want to say from that, and just taking that into account and stuff, like, if you have an issue with something, it's okay to call it out, but let's be constructive with it. But at the same time, let's also take respect, because sometimes people make mistakes. And so when people are producing these contests, I just think it's important to take in that the intent, especially with someone like Jacob, is good. The intentions are good. Right, Jacob?
Yeah, I'll tell you that there is an amazing team of folks who they work on Austin Kink Weekend. We start planning 7, 8 months before the event, and when I start pulling in people, we've got Puck from San Antonio, we have Brendan who's here in Austin, we have Spicy Kitten, we have Al Reed, Boot Black Cam. We start pulling in folks that without all of these folks kind of working together from all sorts of tribes and I hate using the word factions, but all sorts of different places. It takes all of us to really go through and do this. And I think that's the kind of the same thing with um, it's not only just with contests or with kink events or anything like that. It could be your regular bar night. It's one person is not putting on the bar, putting on a gear night at a bar or a leather cigar social. Usually it takes a team of people, and a lot of times the team of people they can kind of get stuck behind a lot of the stuff that's going on. They sort of have some blinders to the external things that are happening. I mean, you talk about this stuff with Grizzly Pines. I agree. The way I look at it is call it out because it does need to be called out. There are ways that you can go through and you can make your voice known. You don't have to spend money with them. You don't have to show up. You can take them out of your socials. Um, we still are running into a situation, even in this day and age, where we're talking about inclusion and being inclusive, not only just in our leather community, but across the board. We find folks that are still very rigid on the way things they believe should go. And, we have a generation now, um, my age, younger, that are saying, you know what, look, we've done all this whole kind of keep everything separated before. It doesn't work for us. Um, let's try to bring everybody together and pull everybody in versus shutting people out. And that's the big thing with, Grizzly Pines, going through and saying that, you're only going to allow cisgender men to come to our campground. They have one event every year that they allow females or cis females to go to the campground. One event. You know, you vote with your pocketbook. You can definitely go through and show, call it out on social media if you want to call it out on social media. But it doesn't, going through, and I think things like review bombing and um, I'm not a big fan of brigading because that can go through and cause problems
Yeah.
just in general. I think there are ways to to show your support for um, those people that are wronged by those types of policies um, without resorting to the online keyboard warrior thing. And that may not be a popular opinion. I just do things a little differently.
But like, when do we care about being popular? Like, what?
Yeah, I gave that up for Lent. That's what I
Whatever.
tell people. So, um, and the folks that put on events and stuff like that, they don't do it necessarily for the popularity piece. They don't do it because they want to be Mr. Popular. They do it because they see a need in the community. And that's sort of where, Austin Kink Weekend was born. There was a need to be able to bring people together from all across our community, wherever you're at, gay, straight, bi, asexual, whatever, bring all those folks together to build connections and build a community. A community that kind of covers all of us. Yeah, we all don't get along with each other,
We don't
but
have to.
we don't have to. But let's at least try to be nice and support everybody. Support each other because that's the important thing. So
I always say, look, hey, if I don't get along with this person, but Jacob does, and y'all can make magic, go right ahead. I'm gonna tell Jacob, hey, I don't like this person, but still, that's if something can get done, don't get in the way of the work. That's how I look at it. And
right.
we have different dynamics. 8 billion people on this planet can't all see eye to eye. You have to kind of understand that. So, anyways, with all that being said, let's go ahead and kick it over to Austin Kink Weekend. I'm super excited. It looks really jam packed with so much stuff this year. I see that the contest is on Sunday too this year. My first Austin Kink Weekend was 2023 when I competed for Mr. Texas, and just to see how it's evolved, and you've done a wonderful job. And I'm super excited, and it's so great to see so many wonderful people coming here to this event. Austin Key Weekend is really killing it, and I've been to a few things, what I'm saying it looks great. I'm excited to see how this goes. So what can people expect this year?
Well, this year, we've gone through. So we moved into the hotel space last year, and I'll say that we were still kind of working out the kinks in the hotel space. No pun intended. But trying to figure out how to navigate the space. So this year we have kind of flipped things a little bit as far as kind of where we're placing classes and stuff like that. Plus, we have kind of moved some of the classes and we're doing like what I call the how-to classes onto Friday, and then some of the deeper dive kind of topics and stuff like that onto Saturday. As you said, we did move the Mr. Miss and now Mix Texas Leather Contest. We added that contest this year. We moved that to Sunday, and we have the Texas Pet and Handler and Boot Black contest on Saturday night. It's a little bit different. It is a Easter, a long weekend. I know folks got to work and stuff like that, but we wanted to kind of give an opportunity for our folks to be able to see all the work that pets and handlers and boot blacks and kind of spotlight those groups, all the work that they do to get ready to go through and compete in this contest. We are very lucky to have some great people, not only serving as far as keynote and panelists, but also serving as judges. We were very lucky for the Mr. and Miss and Mixed Texas Leather Contest to be able to have the very first IMSL. Judy McCarthy's going to be with us. Super excited. I had a chance to talk to her on the phone. I talked to her for about 35, 40 minutes. It's like we've known each other for years.
So she's going to be on the show on the 27th. So I'm excited. But I'm going to meet her at Austin Kink Weekend.
Yeah, she is a wonderful person. She knows the history. She has been in our community. She has seen things. So we're super excited to have her. Leather Edge is going to be coming in to talk about leather protocol, which I will tell you I'm not a fan of protocol, but I respect it because I feel like it's an important thing, especially to those who practice protocol. So we'll be able to have that. Graylin Thornton is our keynote speaker this year. We have a panel with the Texas Leather Generations Project. They'll be in Austin putting their panel together for the first time. They've been to all the other cities, and apparently Austin has to be last for some reason. But we're super excited to have those folks. We have, of course, the Goddess Indigo will be here. The International Miss Leather International Miss Leather Boot Black Spent Cakes be here as well. We just have, I don't want to say it's a star-studded event, but we are very lucky to be able to have a lot of people who know our legacy, who know the kink community's legacy, who have been, on the front lines of so many different things to be able to come and spend time with us. So
Amazing.
we're just definitely looking forward to it.
And I let's see here. So I think I had Graylin on Throwing Light, but anyway, I got to hang out with Graylin in San Francisco last year. He's great. I've been talking to him. He was on the show earlier this year, so I'm looking forward to seeing him. I would definitely encourage everybody to check out the people that are going to be coming. And even on the Instagram, Austin Kink Weekend Facebook page, it shows you just all different types of people that are going to be in. It's a lot. It's a jam packed all-star reunion for sure. And I will be there too, y'all. So
Yep.
so if you want to see me, I'm going to be on Ski Weekend. Okay, so in terms of the how-to classes, okay, so this is Friday. So these are all demonstrations.
A lot of them are demonstrations. So, in fact, give me a moment here.
If I'm correct, Carlton will be doing something. Dr. Carlton.
Dr. Carlton will be back with us this year, bringing another installment of butt stuff.
He will
Because
be on the show as well later on. That's awesome.
yeah, that's definitely important. It's always good, especially if you're playing. We want to make sure that you do things that are safe, and all that sort of stuff. We actually, for this year, for the first time we have an erotic hypnosis class this year. So it's a little bit different. We have a lube labs class, which I hear you're going to make your very own lube.
Wow.
So that is super awesome. Um, we are doing erotic grappling and rough body play for the smaller bodied folks. So if you're like me, I will tell you I'm only 5'6". I'm kind of short. The person who's delivering this particular class is actually shorter than I am. So that'll be fun. Sir Roger from here in Austin will be doing his flogging 101 class. Um, Alan Dudley Alan from Dallas will be doing his cathartic scenes class. And I'll tell you, that one is going to be one that's going to be interesting to me, because there are ways when you're in a scene and in a space to go through and kind of disconnect. and kind of work through some things and how you handle how the dom or the sub in that particular type of scenario kind of handle that. um, it can definitely go a lot of different directions. So he's going to talk about that. Lord Thunder Knight, the current Mr. World Bear, or the current World Bear, because I believe they went to non-gendered titles, will be doing going primal in the bedroom. So we're looking for that. There will be a pet and handler class. There's a rope class as well. So lots of stuff. A lot of the stuff on Friday is definitely kind of the how-tos. These are the way to do things safely. And we get 150 submissions for classes every year. And we have limited amount of spots. So we try to look for folks that may not have delivered in our space before, or they have a topic that we've heard people ask about. So that's what the Friday schedule looks like.
Yeah. And then you said, so then Friday evening, you get to the evening activities. What we got going on?
So the evening activities. So Thursday night, actually, let's backtrack here for a second with
Right.
Thursday night, because
Start Thursday.
Thursday night, that's really when some things kick off, because we have our unofficial opening party that's going to be at the Austin Eagle. This year, we're doing for the past couple of years, we've shown a film. It's very hard to have a film in a bar space, especially to watch it and pay attention. Actually, the first year that we did the film, we did it over at the Texas Film School. Um, over and that was a wonderful film. It was a great space to do that in. And then last year we did it in the Austin Eagle. But this year we're doing something a little different. You're going to get a chance to go through and kind of hear some behind the scenes about what Austin Kink Weekend is, and what our goals were for this year. So there's going to be a producers panel this year. Myself, Puck, Brendan will be on that panel. Brendan doesn't know yet, but he just now found out. So we're going to be kind of talking about the intricacies of being able to put on a kink event in Texas, because it's not as easy as you think. You don't just walk up to a hotel and say, "Hey, I want to sell out every room and have your conference space. And oh, by the way, we're going to have a leather beatings room to go along with it." So being able to go through and kind of give you a little bit of behind the scenes on Thursday night's great. On Friday night, you'll get to meet all the contestants for all 6 of the contests. The Texas pet, the pet contestants will be doing a raffle. So they'll be selling tickets. We'll have a cigar social that's going to be hosted by Austin Gears, Graylin Thornton, and Leather Edge out on the patio. And then Friday night at the Eagle, our opening kind of dance party is going to be with DJ Stu headlining. DJ Cosmic, one of our local DJs here, will be providing support for that. So we're super excited about Friday.
That's awesome. So then, Saturday morning and Saturday we got the classes, but that is also Saturday mornings when the contestants are doing their interviews, correct?
Yeah. So actually, this year, because of how we moved the pet and handler contest to Friday, excuse me, to Saturday night, we went through and we broke up kind of the interview piece. So we're doing the pet and handler and boot black interviews are actually happening on Friday.
Mhm.
So by the time the rest of the crowd will meet those contestants, they will already have been through their interview piece. They will have already had conversations with the judges, so they'll be well on their way to kind of getting that done. And then on Saturday morning, we do the Mr. and Miss Mixed Texas Leather interviews. While that's going on, those boot black contestants are going to be doing their technical portion. So we're trying, because we're doing so many titles for the first time, and we're trying, this is an experiment. Austin Kink Weekend started as an experiment, so we're still experimenting. We're trying to kind of break those pieces up so that um, I'm not running around looking for spaces in rooms like I did last year to be able to do a bunch of a whole bunch of interviews at once. So um, that's going on. Got interviews happening on Saturday morning, of course, classes Saturday during the day. The vendor market will be open. We have 22, 23 vendors from all sorts of different small businesses. So they'll be there. But, like I said, we've got these Saturday classes are a bit more in depth, things like finding your tribe and there will be a town hall discussion about mental health and kink with Dr. Ty, who's our current Mr. Texas Leather. He is actually a sex therapist, so he is going to be talking about that. We have um, with Bear Mike, improving diversity, equity, inclusion in alternative communities. That's kind of a deeper dive into the panel, which is going to be, bridging the gap. That's where we have kind of the panel discussion, um, where we talk about inclusion and kind of and making sure that we build those things in. So a lot of good stuff happening on Saturday. Grayland's keynotes on Saturday as well. And then, we get right into it with the Texas Pet and Handler and Bootleg contest Saturday night.
Okay. And there is some activities after that on Saturday night if you want to have some fun.
Yes. Yes. So on Saturday night at the Austin Eagle, we're proud to have DJ Jamie Boozy. I have to look at my notes. He is going to be the headliner at the Austin Eagle. DJ Boost, who is one of our local DJs, really great guy, member of the pet community. He's going to be opening up for that. So if you want to head out to the Austin Eagle, if you want to stay at the hotel and kind of do your thing at the hotel, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, because things may happen at the hotel. We do have our cruise event, and actually for that, I will be DJing that event starting after the contest lets out. So lots of stuff going on there too.
Awesome. That sounds great. Okay. So now we're over to Sunday.
Sunday, yep. So Sunday is super. It's our lighter day. Of course, it's Easter. If you want to put on your little cottontail and your rabbit ears, you're definitely welcome to go through and do that. We are planning to have a bluff social at 10 a.m. on Sunday, and then at noon, we have the Mr. Miss and Mixed Texas Leather Contest. Um, I will tell you right now, we have 6 contestants for Mr. this year. 2 contestants for Miss, which you'll be seeing all about them in social media here soon. And actually, our inaugural year with the mix contest, we have 2 contestants for mix as well. So we are super excited to be able to go through and have those folks take the stage and be a part, become a part of the Texas Leather family.
That's all.
Um, and then once the patches and sashes are all done, we'll celebrate the eagle that we've gotten through the weekend. I haven't pulled out what little hair I have left. It'll be great. And yeah, we're looking forward to that too. DJ Todd will be at the Eagle on Sunday, kind of letting us relax and let our hair down a little bit.
Well, that sounds like so much fun. I'm excited. I think I'm going to be volunteering this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I will probably be doing that. I don't know exactly what I'm doing yet. I haven't picked it yet, but I'm planning. I told Al I'm planning to volunteer. And for me, when I have these events, I like something to do. So you will probably see me doing something because I'm so socially awkward if I'm just standing around. I have nothing to do at these events. You
Mm-hmm.
probably don't believe that, but if you spend some time with me.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, events like this, they are powered by the folks in the community that volunteer.
Yeah, it's
Um,
her too. So this is exciting for me because it's like, you want everybody to come to your home and have a good time.
Of course, of course. That's what, we like to go through and say, we are the Austin's little secret, and it's really not much of a secret anymore because people start asking us several months in are you guys going to do Kink Weekend again? What's happening? Where can I get a ticket? What's going on? So, we are literally doing it 5 miles outside of the pink capital. I say the pink capital only because the building is pink.
No.
Where 200 anti-LGBTQ bills are going on right now. We had the same thing 2 years ago in 2023 that we had so many bills that were attacking the community here in Texas. And they say that things that happen in Texas usually are a bellwether for things that go on in the rest of the country too, whether it's conservative, liberal, what have you. So, we're watching a lot of stuff get thrown against the wall to see what sticks. And honestly, I'm hoping a lot of it doesn't stick.
Okay,
So,
so Jacob, let's go from here. So in putting the contest on and putting all these events together, we've discussed a lot of things that go into it. How have you seen Austin Kink Weekend grow? Like the growth. What do you think about the growth that the that has happened over a couple of years? People, relatively people have a great time here, and you get great feedback for it. But what motivates you to put this event on? Like, how has it evolved for you?
So, to kind of give you a little story how I got involved with this, when this events first started 4 years ago, I basically just signed up to volunteer to help. It was a way to kind of get Austin Gears, information and logo and who we are on the map in front of us, in front of a bigger crowd. That first year was a couple of hundred folks. It was a bunch of fun, and I was a volunteer. I just went through and helped out where it was needed. In fact, I remember standing in along a table going through and having people signing waivers by hand, showing, all right, initial here, sign here, and let me have the piece of paper back, and now you can go play. So to go from that event where I just volunteered, I was just a part of the process and part of the program, kind of helping, welcome folks into our community here, to be able to go from that into running operations the second year, and then co-producing last year, now producing this year with Puck and Brendan. That the thing for me, it gives me a chance to connect with folks from across the spectrum around the world. I mean, I've met so many wonderful people. I've made so many wonderful relationships, and you do that too as a title holder, right? You've met so many different people from across the country, in your travels, and you get a chance to kind of get to know them, and you build bridges and relationships and bonds, and you know who has your back. So that's one of the reasons why I keep doing it every year. Um, it's a way for me to give back to the community. I'm not a guy who is, even though it may seem like it, I'm not a guy who's always out in front. I'm not always staying on the stage, who is always comfortable on a stage. I'm happy to stand back and watch and see what goes on and try to help people out or make sure they have what they need. This brings me out of my shell a bit to go through and put this type of event on, to where I not only learn what's going on in the community, what people are looking for, but also get a little energy from them too, to kind of get through the rest of the year and on to the next thing, right?
Well,
So,
I was gonna say, I've seen you on stage, Jacob. Jacob is a performer. Don't even let him. And trust. Look, we did the drag turnabout last year, and he did Britney Spears. What the fuck? What's his name? What did her first song?
oh,
Hit me, baby, one more time.
yes, that's it. Yeah.
Whatever. He was doing tricks. He was laying. He was doing the skirt. And I've seen him MC several events. He has a sense of humor, so it's not. He knows how to turn it on. He knows how to turn it on.
Yeah, I turn it on, I turn it off when I have to. And
Yeah.
I will have to let my sister, my very long lost sister, Ivana Dubois, know that you asked about her, because I'm sure that, you wanted to set up a good time.
I'm actually hoping that this year for fundraiser that we both return and help.
I think that might be happening.
I'm down. I'm ready for my return.
Oh, that'll be good. That'll be good. Because, we do have some folks that are going to be representing Austin again this year
Raise
at
money, y'all. We gotta raise money.
that that knitting convention that we all do in May. Super excited to go through and see what they're going to bring to the stage. Definitely super excited to see Dr. Ty up on that big stage as well, because I want to be, you've been to the contest, it is definitely a brotherhood. There's 2,400 folks who have been a part of that. Um, and you build a family, and I'm excited for them to go through that process of joining the family and kind of being a part of it. So,
I'm excited for Ty too, as Mr. Texas Leather, who I invited to be my handler after he won last year.
mhm.
So Ty was my handler for IML, and I was contestant number one, and it was my first IML, and it was stressful as AF. It
You
fun.
learn
So,
a lot
but
about
I'm
yourself.
so glad that he got to share that experience with me. and it's been phenomenal watching him glow up and really be empowered and empower other people. So I'm extremely proud, and I feel a little bit. I feel I'm glad. I hope that he learned whatever he needed to learn from watching what I did to make himself just be a rock star. And I think he is a rock star. And I 100%. I'm not trying to be biased, but all my money's on Ty, and that's because Ty was there for me. So I want to see him win.
Yeah,
Um,
Ty is definitely going to be a great person to kind of go through and watch. There's so many great title holders that are doing so many great things in their communities across the country. You see things, gear swaps, Kinky Book Club. You see, there is now card game gatherings and just so many different communities across our country are doing so many great things. It's hard to keep up with, and you get to see the things that are happening in other parts of the country, and even around the world too. With we've also had great representation this year by Princess Asshole, the Miss Texas Leather. We have had our Texas Pup last year. Pup Atlas has been great. He's been focused on mental health, and how we kind of we in the kink community sometimes we do have our struggles with it. So he's been calling focus to that. Mama Don, the Texas Handler, has been amazing, building her community down in Houston and across the state. These title
Wonderful.
holders go all over the place.
She's wonderful. All these people are, all these people that we know, like, especially people there's some great, we had Master Cat on here
Hmm.
2 episodes ago.
Hmm.
Obviously, he was in my IMO class, and so he's competing for Mr. Texas. Of course, again, I have a relationship with Kat, and I want to see him succeed. But he's up against six contestants. This is the largest since I've known. I competed in a class of four. Last year was two, and this is six. So this only speaks to the testament of Austin Kink Weekend and what it provides and the type of quality of contestants that we get because it's a battle, it's a contest, and but it's so amazing to see something like this in Texas where Jacob knows, like, look, me and Jacob, be real with you, we're in a red mean state, and
Hmm.
open carry and gun, like we are, we're putting this event on. Everyone's here is working on this, and we want it to be safe, and we want people to feel like they're safe. And in Texas, we're putting ourselves out there because no matter what, we don't want people to think that we're scared to come together or to be who we are. But it's nice, as I say, to be the opposite of that energy and to be more inclusive, to be about more love and acceptance and exploring who you are and figuring yourself out. It really is a great energy that is in opposition to what you might see in the news or in the media. There are four blue cities in the state. I want people to know that. Austin being the capital, we're often considered to be the purple dot in a sea of red.
Yeah, I think when you get down to it, I like to think that people are generally good. I like to assume that people are generally good until they show me otherwise. And I like to think that even though our state here in Texas it's very red, it is very red. You read about in the news, you can see what the attorney general is doing, you can hear what the governor has to say. It's very red state. But there are a lot of people, I think, in Texas, um, and I've lived here all of my life. I was born here. I've had the time to kind of grow up. I think a lot of people are generally for the good of others. They don't want to be stepped on, but they also in some cases don't want to step on others, even though you look at the way things happen with the election and stuff like that, it makes you think otherwise. Getting kind of a chance to talk to people and breaking bread and getting to know them a little bit. Sometimes you can find those little pieces of connection and little ways that you can go through and let not only their story of who they are and why they do certain things or why they may think certain things kind of impact you, but also it gives you the chance to go through and make an impact on them as well with your story and where you came from and what you've experienced. And I always look at it as we need to spend more time talking to each other and working things out instead of dealing with like gotcha videos on social media. Where you've seen the videos where the guy is sitting at the table and then all these people are sitting around them and they're all vying for a chance to go up and tell them his side of the story, and he's sitting there trying to refute it with whatever. We just need to talk better to each other. We need to realize that we're, our time on this little dot in this very vast universe is very finite. Some go earlier than others. But if we can figure out ways to make connections to other people and figure out ways to speak to other people and try to deal with the emotional charges that invariably will happen, especially with things that are important to you. If we can figure out ways to get past that, I think we would be all a lot better. You know,
I
I, do the golden rule, as it was told to me, it was two actually. There was the old funny golden rule, which was, you always heard it around the water cooler in movies. Do unto others before they do unto you. But it's do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So if your energy, your kindness, your compassion, your thoughtfulness, those sorts of things, if you can take some time and try to put that out there and project that, um, a lot of times you're going to get that back. It lets you make a connection. So
I mean, I think that communication and I think communication and the interpretation of that communication is the problem, right?
right.
Because people don't understand that we misinterpret things so often. That's why it's so frustrating to see people that are religious and dumb just interpret the Bible that way and think that has to be like, it's ridiculous. And then we also want to push here is that Austin Kink Weekend is a pro trans, pro love, like all inclusive. So if you are a trans person, you are safe amongst people that support you. Know that, number one. So I think that's important for us to communicate that,
Absolutely.
especially with what's going on and things that are happening in other places. That is not the energy here over in our community. How do you feel about that, Jacob?
Absolutely. I mean, the whole goal of Austin and Kink Weekend and us being able to put on an event like this and where we are is for you to come be able to be who you are and be supported in who you are. Because, our space is a safe space. I like to say it's a safe space, even though the term safe space may not be the right term anymore. We accept you for who you are. I'm not going to ask you to go through. I may ask you to put on something to cover your butt, but I'm not going to go through and ask you and say, hey, that shirt that you're wearing with that harness doesn't look really good. I need you to fix it. I'm not going to pick those things out. I want you to be who you are. I want you to feel sexy in who you are and feel empowered in who you are. And that's why we try to bring classes and panelists and stuff like that from all different places to be able to go through and help not only learn, because there's a lot of stuff I don't know. Hell, I'm still young in my kink journey compared to some folks,
No.
but to experience as well.
And what I said, I'm younger than you, so I'm learning from you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I've still got a lot to learn.
Oh,
I will tell
and
you.
I want to talk, and I just want to say that Jacob was there as the sponsor for me for Mr. Austin Eagle. He flew with me, he drove me, he checked on me. He was phenomenal, and you were my handler too. So I just want to point that out that you took extremely well care of me during IML, and I'm indebted to you. You
Uh,
know,
you,
that's why I feel like, and I know you were down for a little bit. I wish that I was closeted to more when you were out of commission because I kind of was aware late in the game, but I wish I could have kind of been there for you. I'm glad that you got through that.
yeah,
Um, But like we've seen each other's evolution. It's like we know what's going on. We know what we are involved in, what we're not involved in at this point.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, here, so for everybody's edification, here a couple of months ago, back in November, I had back surgery to go through and put some braces in my back. Well, apparently, I'd injured myself a long time ago and just kept constantly re-injuring it things, re-injuring it so that it came to a point where something had to be done. So for 2 months, I was at home, kind of twiddling my thumbs, watching TV. I think I watched all the TV that I could ever go through and watch, played a bunch of video games, and was ready to kind of get back out there. And luckily, I've had supportive folks, not only from you, but from many people in our community, kind of supporting me getting through that. I mean, my partner, Jonathan, has been great. He has. I have follow up tomorrow with the doctor to make sure I can kind of get back in the gym and start doing physical therapy. But I mean, he's been great by cooking meals and picking up heavy boxes and to making sure that I don't do anything stupid. So he's been wonderful. Hexa Dulce and Kensuke, came over and built my new desk when I needed it. So I've been very lucky to have good friends that I could go through and call on, yourself included, even when I just needed a rant, to go through and kind of help get through that. And those are the types of connections and things that we hope that people take out of coming to see us here in Austin for Austin Kink Weekend. Make those long lasting connections.
And I do consider us friends. And like I said, I'm aware, I went through my whole year of just being busy and stuff, but like I'm here. I'm here for you, dude. For real. It's a love and it's I mean, I honestly I've never had any issue with you. I really honestly think of us as brothers and on the same team. So like look at us.
I know.
I think a
We
lot.
we're dressing pretty close to the same. I mean,
Like,
same
like
company. I mean, it's
Jesus, like,
almost like we planned it.
and it wasn't that. Well, I want to open it up. Does anybody that's in here have any questions?
Don't be shy.
Don't be
I'm
shy.
happy to answer questions.
Ask the
And
question.
I have a super surprise that I'm going to be giving out too.
Is it up right now or is it later?
It will be
What's the surprise?
actually, I'm doing it right now.
What? What are you about to do? What are you about to do?
So, do.
I'm nervous. What are you about to do? This is no one's ever had me anticipated like this on the show before. I'm just like, what someone's going to do a trick?
Well, I'm not going to do any tricks because I'm still not allowed. Well, that really depends on what we define as trick.
Let's redefine
Um,
the word trick there.
Yeah, right. So as part of what I do is I sell tickets to Austin Kink Weekend, and we're wanting to go through and really push and have folks come and join us if you can. So I am putting out a very special discount code for Austin Kink Weekend with your podcast. If you would like to join us in Austin over Easter weekend, which will be a very fun time, I promise. And if not, I will tell you to tell me what I can do to make it better. If you go to austinkinkweekend.com, you can find out all the information about the event. And you can also buy your tickets there. But if you use the discount code, I'm just going through and making sure that I have it in here. Daddy's Gift, DADDYSGIFT. It's going to take $25 off your ticket cost. So
And I will actually, if you're watching this, I will put this in the post. I'll get that from Jacob, and when I share it, I will also say that that's the discount code too. So
yes.
I will be posting that for I'll see how Jacob wants to do it, and we will be posting that.
Yeah, it's ready to go. It is out there. It is live now. So if you have friends that have been on the fence and they're like, well, I don't know, it's like, listen, you can get a discount. Let's go and have some fun. We've got single day tickets on sale as well. If you can only join us for a day, come join us for the day. There's all sorts of things going on. You may meet new people. You may meet a new friend. You may find
It
something
really
that,
is. It's a special. It's just if you're a curious person, it's a wonderful thing to go to. But um I have met wonderful people, and I want to also push that even though this is about teaching, kink and things like that, this is this is a full scope of humanity at this. It's not just that; it's also education. It's also because fun. It's a this is not this isn't one thing.
Yeah, definitely not.
Education
Definitely not one
so
thing.
many things into one weekend that literally feeds your mind, your body, and your heart.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
I live by that. Everybody knows I think in threes: mind, body, heart. And you get that. And I want someone to stimulate me in those three ways. And Austin Kink Weekend succeeds at that.
Yeah, it's definitely a different event than say your IML or your MAL or Claw,
Definitely.
or definitely a different it's let me I shouldn't say it's a different event.
Well, it's
It's
okay.
got a different vibe. We have contests, we have dance
Honest, it's like
parties.
combining it actually. If you combine Claw and the like, because Claw has classes,
Hmm.
I look Austin King Weekend, especially this year with mix, and then I mean, like, come on, like this is like futuristic, future, like like we want to succeed. But I'm just saying, like, this is forward thinking to me. It's not like, hey, okay, we can't do away with this. We're in this moment of time. How do we include? Like, that is so amazing to offer not just one, not two, but five titles. Okay,
Six.
six titles. I mean, and that's a lot of work. But like, y'all, like, look, be the change you want to see.
Hmm.
Whether if it's a
Exactly.
step, whether if it's a step, and look, I'm just saying I stand by my home, Austin, and say that our intentions are to be inclusive. And we want to succeed in that. And I think what Jacob is producing here and doing this is so exciting. It's so exciting. It's so
Yeah.
exciting.
The amazing team that's behind this to be able to go through and put this on year after year, learn things from where we may have come up short the previous year, and instituting those things. It's just an amazing team overall. So we're super excited to welcome everybody back. We've got folks that are coming back for second and third and fourth times. And we've got folks that are coming for the very first time. They saw an Instagram post. Somebody said they were going, and they're like, oh, let's check that out. So we're just excited to be able to have this type of event in our own backyard, to be able to not only showcase the community, but help build it as well.
And I love most important. Every time I've been talking to Jacob like he's doing it, but he has acknowledged that it's a team that's put this event on. So I just want you. That's a testament to his character, because he is not. That is who he is.
Yeah, this is not not all about me,
I would tell you.
because
I would
I
tell
would
you.
go crazy. I would go
If
crazy.
I thought he was phony, we wouldn't be doing this interview. Like, I wouldn't have. We were saying, like, whatever. Okay, well, that is towards the end. There's two things. The first thing I think. Well, what I want to ask you is, like, what do you want most for people to get from coming here in the next couple of weeks?
So when they make their way here, I think I want them to see the legacy of our community, not just the leather community, but the kink community. I want them to, I've said this kind of multiple times, as we've kind of gone through this. I want them to kind of see the legacy. And I think I say it multiple times because I think it's important. I want them to see the legacy of our community, where our community has come from. I want them to make connections, um, find a new friend, get to know somebody new. If you see somebody sitting there in a chair, it's like, hey, strike up a conversation, get to know them, because you'll have the opportunity to do that.
Don't
And
be
then,
scared, dog. Go talk to people. Go talk to people.
yeah,
I'm gonna do it
eh,
this year. I'm just like y'all. I'm just gonna go up and talk to people.
yeah, exactly. And then find the ways that when you go home, whether you're going home, just going down the street, or you're flying across the country, or across the ocean. Find ways to make impacts in your community, because you can impact your community without being a title holder. You can impact your community by just stepping up and volunteering and serving your community. You don't need some fancy Mr. Miss mix, thing in front of it to be able to get out there and just do some work. And those opportunities to be able to do that, I think, are important. So find ways to make impacts in your community. I'm hoping that this year, with the education pieces that we have, the presenters that we're bringing in for it, um, you'll be able to get good information to take home with you and put that stuff in your own communities. So
That's awesome. All right, Jacob. Well, I'm excited. I would like to actually have you just as a regular guest sometime.
yes, I you know what, you have
That has
my
nothing to
number.
do with Austin Kink Weekend. That would be nice to have a regular interview with you sometime.
Yeah, I'd be happy to do it.
Cool.
You know where to find me.
You know where to find you, actually.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Not the phone number that's in the bathroom wall at the Eagle. That
I
one's
don't.
not mine anymore.
I don't know about that now. That doesn't.
But
We're in the United States. People don't know how to spell. They probably were trying to spell your name.
this is true. This is true. Well, if people hadn't gotten
Official
tickets,
language is English, Jacob.
this is true.
English.
Only English.
It's only English. They
Yeah.
get how many kids you think can't spell Texas or
Mm,
Mississippi?
I know, right?
A lot. Okay,
Yes.
anyway, so that brings us to the end. There's one thing you have to do. There's been just a slight format change, Jacob. You got to close the show.
All right. Well, that's interesting. That's something I haven't done yet. So if you haven't yet, you can buy tickets at
There you go.
austinkinkweekend.com. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/, Austin Kink Weekend. We're on Instagram at Austin Kink Weekend. We are also on Blue Sky as well, because that is the new place to go. Blue, it's at austinkinkweekend.bsky.social. That sounds about right, but I'm sure I'll get corrected. Um,
All be in the post. I will have
yep.
all. So don't
Yep. I'm just
don't
making sure you leave the notes.
look in the
So,
post.
but I've been super excited to be here this evening with LTJ Reeds, my brother, my leather brother, my as close to a brother as I could have him be.
Immediate, like we're right here in the same place.
Yep, happy to be here. And this has been throwing light, because if you're not throwing light, you're not right. See, I can do it. I can do the thing.
God, okay, fine. Way
This
to
is
go,
what you,
Jacob.
yeah, this is what you asked for.
You actually you beat Goddess now. Because
Oh, really?
Goddess had the best one, but you went, you didn't even have to let me prompt you. So congratulations. You are the main challenge winner of Lewis's throwing light race.
There we go.
You are the
Awesome.
challenge winner. Go to the back of the stage, please.
Yes, yes,
While everybody else lip syncs.
yes. Lip sync for your life.
That was amazing. This has been great. All right. Thank you so much for being on Throwing Light. And as Jacob said, if you ain't throwing light, you ain't acting right. See y'all later.
See ya.